Today being the 18th day of the Omer, we're going to learn the 18th step of acquiring Torah. We're just going to recap the last couple because it's all one sequence. The first we said in this sequence was the 15th, which was mi'ut sechora, which was diminishing the amount of business a person does. The next one, number 16, was mi'ut shena, diminishing the amount of sleep a person does in order to grow in Torah. Then it's mi'ut ta'anug, we learned yesterday, and today the 18th, mi'ut sicha and mi'ut shok, which are the same letters. So we're going to explain both. First, mi'ut sicha means diminishing the amount or limiting, minimizing the amount of speech, the amount of talking a person does. There's a couple of reasons for doing this, especially in the Bet Knesset, but in general as well. We have a mitzvat aseh min Torah. We have a Torah positive commandment of v'dibarta bam, that we have to speak of them. And what that means, as is quite obvious from the context of that verse, that a person has a Torah obligation to speak words of Torah, whether it's by learning, by teaching, by thinking. The Torah has to be as much as possible on our mind, and that's what we should be as much as possible speaking about. That's first. Secondly, we know from the Mishnayot and the Talmud in various places that the greatest thing is silence. There's many different options of what the Talmud uses. The Talmud says that if one coin, one gold coin is for a good word, well, 2 gold coins is for no words. And there's elsewhere found in Masechet Avot that a person that the Chacham found nothing better for the world or for himself rather than silence. And on, all these concepts of being silent and not talking too much. Now, specifically towards learning Torah, listen to the 2 following concepts of, again, minimizing the amount of speech a person does. We've all heard of this concept of we have limited words. We obviously know we have limited time that we're here on this world, 120 years, maybe a little less, lo aleinu maybe a lot less, but we definitely have a limited time on this world. We also have limited amount of speech capacity, and something that we could all pertain to is brain power. The Midrash gives an example of, imagine you have a barrel, and the barrel is full of oil. Now, although we love water, but if you compare the price of water and the price of oil is definitely a better product, more expensive, a richer product. So the person's mind is likened to a barrel full of oil. And that's if a person learns and tries to learn and tries to remember. The more a person speaks on futile manners and wastes talking about this, talking about that, nothing special, just fluff. What it's like is if you take water and you add it to that barrel of oil, what's going to happen? For every ounce or every amount of water you add to the barrel, you're going to have oil to the equivalent amount displace and come out. The same thing is the mind. We have a little limited amount of capacity, of brain power, of words to use, so we might as well use them for things which are productive, things which are wise, obviously our Torah, and not chit-chat and chat around everything else, which is wasting our brain power, wasting our speech. The last thing that I wanted to bring down on minimizing speech is even when it comes to learning Torah, we have a mitzvah, if you want to call it, to when we learn and when we teach, to try to diminish and minimize the amount of words used. If I get up here and I tell you the same concept and I use 1,000 words to say something I could have said in 100, or I could have said in 10, it's confusing. It's a waste of words. It's a waste of time. So when we learn, when we write, when we teach, each and every person, even if we're not teachers, we're not rabbis, just by teaching others, sharing with others, especially our children, to try to be concise, try to be clear, and try to get to the point as quick as possible. Now, when it comes to mi'ut shok, diminishing in the amount of joking and laughter, we know that it's obviously good to, if you need to start to speak to someone or break the ice, or even sometimes a speech, start with a joke. And that's fine. We see the Talmud also gives a rally off of all the rabbis and what their joke was when they started speaking. It was like a known thing. But a little bit is allowed, mi'ut, diminish in it. It doesn't say don't ever joke, don't ever laugh. You could, but not too much. Just enough to capture one's attention, enough to be happy and joyous, but not to be excessive in it. Same thing like too much talking. If a person's mind is full of jokes, then that's all there's going to be. There's no room for wisdom. More so, if a person takes every serious matter and always has a joke to say about it. I know many people that they have a joke on every single topic. Lo alenu, there are some chachamim, you say one word and they're able to give you a whole topic on it. There are some individuals who you give them a word and they're able to tell you a joke on the spot, on demand. Well, that's for the good, obviously. But there are some individuals that it's just frivol, it's cheap, it's casual, it's nothing special. When you take serious concepts, and this is something which is quite severe, if you take a serious concept and you dumb it down and you turn it into a joke, then you are devaluing the wisdom, the material, and the lesson that has to be said about that. Chachamim tell us that until Mashiach, az yimales chok pinu. Then we will laugh. Now, we are not allowed to laugh too much. A little laugh, a little happy. We need to be happy, but we need to also maintain seriousness. We need to maintain the goal of wisdom, the goal of learning, the goal of teaching, the goal of doing what we have to do, and not making everything a joke. So these two are the 18th step of acquiring Torah. Mi'ut sicha and mi'ut tzhok, diminishing in the amount of talking and diminishing in the amount of joking and laughter that a person has. May this be B'ezrat Hashem a merit for us to grow all the way up to the 48th level. It's the 18th only. We still have 30 to go. The 18th level, B'ezrat Hashem, climbing up the ladder of acquiring Torah. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen.